Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. This is Vanessa.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to our second batch recording episode.
Did you change your sweater?
I did.
You sneaky. I was just about to say, if we look the same.
No.
But only if I look the same.
That's right.
Because,
I feel like it's easier when I edit. Because then later when I look at clips and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, this is from that episode.
That makes sense. Well, you can't use grungy ass Nicole.
I won't
tell.
use you.
Dang it. Remember that rule? Remember that promise I made to our viewers where I would always be clean when it came to this
I will
episode?
not be smelly.
Now I feel like I've ruined that just because I'm wearing the same clothes 2 weeks in a row. Which I'm pretty sure I wore this shirt in one of the last ones we did because it's so comfy. So, dang it.
That's okay. You're allowed.
It's totally clean though, guys. Believe me.
Okay, great.
It's the cleanest shirt I own.
Nicole is clean and life is good.
And this is an exciting week.
Yes.
In real life and
in
podcast.
Real life time. Oh, in podcast time?
I don't know, real life time?
Okay.
Because you just went on your trip and now you're going to tell me more stories.
What stories do you want? Let's see. You
told me about 2 of your snacks.
I did.
Did you have any other snacks?
I had so many snacks.
I'm so jealous. I saw them on your Instagram.
Yes.
And I was just like, I have to go buy snacks now.
I did. We ate so many things. So we I know I've already said this, but last week I turned 40 and I feel so old now. And but we went to Germany and we kind of just drove around a lot in Germany. So we drove from Germany to Prague. So while we did that, we stopped in Nuremberg, which was really cool. Is a really cool looking city. So we went to the city center and like walked around and stuff, and they had some of their Christmas market stuff still up. So there was like some we were able to get Glühwein, which is like warm wine, I guess, that you and you and they had leftover Christmas market mugs from this last year, so we were able to get a Christmas market Glühwein mug and drink some Glühwein. Nice. So it was really fun. So we like walked around, it was all cold, and we had our little Glühwein cup and all that. It was really cool. We ate a lot of schnitzel. We also had, let me tell you about this other snack. I made my sister-in-law text me what the name of it was because I kept forgetting. I could not, like, because it's obviously a German word, so like I can't get it together. But it was basically like a mac and cheese, but it's not mac and cheese. So it is called, that word is not, it's called Käsespatzel.
Okay. I believe you.
Great, thank you.
I trust your German in this.
Thank you. And it, basically German mac and cheese, and it's delicious, and I have a picture of it, and I shall put it in here. You will see it. And so we ate that, and then we also ate, what else did we eat? So the snack I'm going to use this week is Schneeballen.
I'm really enjoying this. I think we should send you places more often
so you can just hear me say words incorrectly.
Yes.
Schneeballen is German for snowball.
Okay.
And it's basically a ball of like pie crust.
Okay.
So think of like that crumbly piece, like part of the pie crust, and it's just wrapped over and over in a ball. And then some things there was some stuff that had stuff inside of it. I got one that was just cinnamon and sugar, which was okay. It was a little dry, but it was okay. And then the other one I got was a nut nougat schneeballen. And it was basically covered in like milk chocolate with like nut nougat on it. And that one was pretty good. However, pie crust is basically the worst part of a pie. So so the snack it was good, but like not my favorite. And then we also, while we were waiting for a bookstore to open, we went to a cafe. This was in Prague. We went to a cafe and I got some delicious hot chocolate and apple strudel. Oh, it was so good. So good. I also have a picture of that. That will go up. So that one was yummy. I think I'm gonna use the Schneeballen as my snack this week just because I like the word.
Like the word.
Yes. And then I know this doesn't count, but well, I guess it kind of counts. But my sister-in-law and her husband introduced us to a lot of new protein snacks that they like. So I've already ordered some of those. So I will be using those things as a future snack, I'm sure.
Are they in like German protein snacks? Or
no?
Okay.
We could get them in the US.
How long is it going to take to get you there?
No, we did go to a German grocery store and I tried some pretzels. They were like protein pretzels, and they were they were cheese and onion or something like that. They weren't great.
So there's it's like two dudes, like they're Chuck and something or whatever. Okay. They make protein snacks. They have protein pretzels too, and bought, they're like something mustard, like majestic mustard or something stupid like that.
Love that.
Yeah, but those were pretty good.
We've had some before from here that I've enjoyed. I can't remember what the brand is that we bought, but that aren't bad. So I'd be interested to try
Chuck and Larry or something like
that.
Okay.
Tim really likes protein pretzels, so I feel like I'll maybe try those out for him too. So all right, text me what they are.
Okay, I will.
And then the German ones were not great. All of us tried it and was like, that's weird. We also had some really good, like cool alcoholic beverages. So when we were in Prague, we went to a speakeasy.
Oh, nice.
And had like some of their signature drinks and stuff, and it was delicious. We had some really good stuff while we were out there. Yeah. Man, so we did Prague, and then
No, I was gonna say that's the best part of traveling is all the tasty food you get to eat. Sorry. I'm just super jealous right now. I was like, man.
Yes, you just get to eat all of the things. We also the hotel we stayed in Prague had like 6 restaurants in it. So we went to a couple places in there that had some cool stuff. So after Prague, because we drove through, where did I say we drove through? Nuremberg. And then drove to Prague. And then on the way home, we stopped at, where did we stop? Oh, we stopped in Rothenburg on the way back, which is like a walled city in Germany. And little did we know, everything fucking closes in the winter. No, in the winter.
Oh, in the winter. I thought you were saying on Mondays.
No. We went through there on Wednesday. So we saw at first, we were walking through and my sister-in-law was like, it's really weird that there's no one here. There was 4 people on the streets. And so we were kind of just walking around, just whatever. And finally came across a sign in one of the doors that was like, we are closed from January whatever to March 30th for the winter season. And we were like, what?
No.
So I don't know if every store has the same like whatever, but literally there was like 3 places that were open, and one of them was the Schneeballen.
At
So
least
we
you got
had that.
Schneeballen.
Yes, that's right. And so then the next day we kind of just chilled, like didn't really do a whole lot, just like drove around, did some things, whatever. And then on whatever day, I guess Thursday, we drove to Heidelberg.
Oh, yes.
And that was really cool. So we got to go to like the Heidelberg Castle and like walked around the little square and did some shopping, and we ate. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to write this one down. We ate. Oh, this is for sure my snack this week. What am I doing with my life?
Take it back.
Take it back. There was a cinnamon roll place called Cinnamood, I'm pretty sure is what it was called. And I had a carrot cake cinnamon roll. It was so good. So I'm going to use that as my snack today. Maybe I'll use Schneeballen next week. Okay. Today is going to be carrot cake cinnamon roll. So we had one of those there, and I seriously could have eaten so many of them. They were so good. But so we like saw the bridge and like all the cute things, and it was great. And then on the last day we were there, we went to this little like bazaar thing, and Tim got some German beer that he really enjoyed, and the German man was very nice and that sold it to him and was like very handsy.
Oh.
Yes, he was very close to Tim's face the whole time. It was I think it's the German sales tactic.
Intimidation.
Yes. So yeah, all around it was really, really cool. We saw a lot of really cool stuff. I just really love the architecture, just in all the places.
There. Yeah.
Yes, everything was great. When we were in Nuremberg, we actually went to the where the Nuremberg trials were at. So we saw, like, went to the courthouse and stuff, and then they have like a little thing that you can walk through that's like a museum, whatever. Okay. So we did that. Just like all the, history, all the things, like everything everywhere. It's just amazing to see it all. Yeah. It was like a really, really, really great trip. And my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law are really fun to travel with. Like, we do travel with them the same, basically. Like, how when you go traveling with people, and if they do things like at a different pace than you, or like just travel differently than you, it kind of makes it very weird.
Right.
We typically travel very similarly. So we love traveling with them. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. And also, we just kind of put everything on them, which is great. We were just like,
they were the travel guides.
Yes, you find where to go. You find the directions. You do all of this. And they were like, yep, got it. We're on it.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was great. So great trip, great time, fun. We hope that we can go back again before they move back to the States. So, yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So that's that.
I'm so jealous. Next time you go, I'm going to hide in your suitcase.
Okay.
Or I'm just going to show up.
Next time, let's just plan a trip with me and you to go.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I was going to say, I was going to show up. Like, where are you going? What time are you going to get there? Oh, that's so cool. And then you're going to get off the plane and I'm going to be like, hi.
You're just like, can you just share flight information with me for no reason. Don't worry.
Just trust me.
Yeah.
I'm a friend. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's plan it. I would totally do an overseas trip with you.
Sweet.
Okay, let's go.
We need only for food and books. And we can try and record an episode while we're over there. It'll be like a really
great.
low qual, like a little, just like our cell phones, like
Right.
hi.
We could do it. It'll be good.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, you had the better week, I think.
So I mean, if I didn't, something was terribly wrong.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was here at my house.
Yes.
Mike went up to the cabin for most of the week for ice camp. And what else? Oh yeah, and then I was trapped here in my house.
Trapped because of weather? Or
because of weather.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So not totally trapped.
Yeah.
Just like the weather was like enough of a nuisance that I wasn't like, I'm gonna go out and, get food, or I'm not gonna make a DoorDash guy come to my house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just like
I always feel like I have to tip like a lot if I get food when the weather's really bad.
Right. Yeah. So I was pretty much at the house from like Tuesday until yesterday. It was like just hanging out with the dogs. So yeah, it was fine. I had a lot of time to like read and like do things like clean, which I didn't do. Like unpack boxes, didn't do. Just hung out.
Okay,
So
great.
but I did have lunch with my sister yesterday. And have you ever heard of K-Pot?
No.
The restaurant K-Pot?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Korean barbecue place.
Okay.
But they have like the little grills in the middle of the table, and then they also have like burners set in front of you, so you can do like grill the food in front, like grill on the grill, or do the hot pot or whatever. I've never been to one.
Okay.
I went to one yesterday with Kim. It is delicious.
Oh, nice.
I want to go again.
Okay.
And they had boba tea, so I was able to get boba tea. It was great.
Shall we go there for your birthday?
Oh yeah, we should.
Because I'll be there. Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, there's one right next to my house. Well, I mean, pretty close to my house. We can go to that one.
Okay.
So
great.
But yeah, we went and did that, and then we went to Barnes and Noble, where I said I don't need any books, but I'll go look with you, and then I bought 3 books.
But remember what your rule was. Your rule before was that if you go in thinking that you're not going to buy any, then your answer is still 0.
Correct. So it was a soft 0.
Okay, great.
So yeah, but I didn't really go out, and I mean, K-pop was good, but I didn't really have any. I was thinking about it though. I ate a lot of it this week because it's delicious, and so I decided I'm gonna share my secret oatmeal recipe.
Okay.
It is not healthy.
Okay.
It is not a healthy secret recipe. It is so you buy the cinnamon apple instant oatmeal packets.
Okay.
And then you put caramel macchiato coffee creamer in it instead of milk.
Okay.
And it tastes like caramel apples.
Interesting.
Yeah, so instead of like milk, because I put milk in it to like, I don't know, thicken it up or whatever. Yeah. So instead of that, I had coffee creamer. So it's like, but I was just looking through, I was like, oh my God, I have caramel macchiato and I have apples. It's gonna happen. So,
have you done it before? Was this like you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I've experimented with different coffee creamers and different like flavors, but caramel macchiato and apple cinnamon oatmeal.
All right.
I don't know. Caramel apples, man. It tastes exactly like caramel apples.
All right.
So,
I mean, I think that's a great snack to use.
Yeah, that is my snack this week. It is
excellent.
Caramel apple. Though, now that I'm thinking about it, dang it, I should have saved it. I feel like we need to, because I know I asked you to try one, but it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the week of, it's Punchki week.
Well, because you have multiple books, you can do one snack for one book and one snack for another book.
All right. Okay.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was gonna do. I forgot it's Punchki week.
Mm-hmm.
Did you try them?
Mm-hmm.
And
they were good. They tasted like a donut to me, though.
I know. They just taste like donuts.
Yeah.
Like a powdered donut.
Yeah. We got the raspberry filled raspberry whatever filled one. Because when we bought them, they only had raspberry filled, and I want to say like some like just cream filled or something. And I was like, I'm not getting that. Mm-hmm. So don't give me mystery cream.
Fair.
Thank you. And so but it was delicious. It just tasted like a donut to me. I don't know if it was supposed to be more than that.
No, they're just donuts.
Okay.
But they I forgot it was Punchki week until I went to the grocery store today and I saw that I forgot that Michigan has Punchki vodka.
Oh, good gracious.
It's like, man, I'm serious. Yes. Serious about our Punchkis here.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Oh, man. It was...
So what, does it just taste like a donut vodka?
I assume so. I almost bought it so I could try it and tell you. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I need that.
No.
I'm really trying to cut down.
Yeah.
And one of the places I can cut down is my drinking.
Yeah.
Then I can eat more calories.
That's right. That makes it easy. Yeah. So that's it. Those are all the updates I have.
Me too.
Book time.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You give me your books.
How many books do you have this week?
1.
Can I tell you how many books I have this week?
If you say 7, I will punch you.
It's not 7.
Okay, good. Well, because you just said that Mike was gone and you didn't clean. So how many did you read?
So I had to tell you all the things. I had to make sure to work in how much free time I had this week. Because between you being gone and not being able to talk to you and being by myself in a house with only puppies, and I had 5 books this week.
Nicole.
But I picked 3 to talk about.
Oh my goodness.
Does that count? Can I do that?
Yes.
But look at all these books.
Nicole. What are you doing? Okay, how many of them were audio and how many did you read?
Oh, one audio.
Okay.
And I read 4 on my Kindle.
Mike is never allowed to be gone the same week that I am gone.
You guys are gonna have to start you guys are gonna have to start coordinating your vacations.
Yes. Great. Okay. So, I'm so happy that you only picked 3.
Yes, so I picked 3 to talk about, and I'm breaking my rule where I said I'm never gonna keep books. So I haven't decided if these other 2 I'm just never gonna talk about.
Okay.
Or what?
Maybe on a week that you only have 2 books for some reason, you can bring one in so you can have a 3-book week.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I'll think about it. But I don't want that to become a normal thing. Unless I just start reading 5 books all the time. Then we're just going to throw books out.
Okay.
Okay, so because I had 5 books, I just picked the top 3 books.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Out of the 5.
Are the other 2 going to get mentioned at all? Or are you just going to, like, hard hold them?
I don't know. Okay. I think I'm just going to hard hold them.
Got it. Okay. Tell me the 3 then.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to talk about is called The Witches of Santo Stefano.
Okay.
It is by Wendy Webb. It was a Kindle Unlimited, and it is a historical fiction romance.
Okay.
Yes. So there's 2 story arcs in this book. The first one is like modern day. It doesn't give a year, I don't think. But so Cassie, the main character, has just found out that her husband has been having an affair.
Okay.
And so they're split. and in, I don't know if you like, while they're apart or whatever, she decides that she's gonna go on a fact-finding mission to Italy to do some like family tree investigating. So
Okay.
this is because like she has all this free time, and she's having a hard time with like the divorce proceedings and stuff like that. But she has they have like a family history tree, and while doing some like investigating, some of the stuff that her grandmother has told her is different than what they're finding online.
Okay.
So like her grandmother's just passed away previous to this. So like they're like, some of the things was like, oh, like I was born in this town. But then like when bringing up things from the internet, it says on the birth certificate like she was born somewhere else.
Okay.
So just like things that her grandmother told her growing up don't match what the internet says about stuff like that.
Okay.
So the second story arc is in the past, and it's telling the true story of Cassie's grandmother, her great grandmother, her great great grandmother, and their storyline through like, and basically the story is being revealed in snippets. So while Cassie is like growing through Italy and meeting people, and like they're sharing clues with her, and you're also like time hopping back to like snippets of like the story told like what really happened as you're discovering clues in now time.
So like as she's finding out like a lie or something, that whatever, you're kind of getting the real story from the past.
It like flashbacks and gives the real story. So that's pretty much the book. Like there's some mysterious happenings in the book that are like eerily similar to like stuff that happened in the past, and I think it's supposed to like like, oh, like something could happen, but it's not that kind of book.
Okay.
So thoughts, it is considered to be a romance book, but like Little Baby R.
Okay.
It's like
fair.
Like they like, I think they kiss, but like that's it.
Okay.
So, but the book is kind of boring at first.
Okay.
Like the book is kind of boring at first. It like once she gets into Italy, it gets more interesting, and then like the story of the grandparents and her great grandparents was way more interesting than like what she was doing in.
I feel like that's a common theme for like, we've now talked about two other books that were kind of like that, where like when you get the modern day story, it's just like meh, but when you get the old story, you're like, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I need to find a book that like it's the same.
Right, they need to equally be interesting.
Right. Yeah. So the back and forth in the storyline was kind of confusing at first because it jumps around a little bit. It's not told in like chronological order, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, and then like if you read the description of this book, it makes it to be way more mysterious than it actually is.
Okay.
Like you read the description, you're like, oh my gosh, like what's like what's gonna happen, and but then like I was reading it was just like, oh, like it kind of hints at like paranormally things, but like I don't know, it's not really. So
yeah,
I don't know, it was just it was an okay read. I gave it like 3 shots of punchki vodka.
Okay.
So
fair.
Yeah, so okay, second book. Also a historical fiction romance.
Okay.
It's my theme this week.
Yes.
So it's called The Victory Garden by Rhys, Bowen. It is also Kindle Unlimited. And it is set during World War I. Emily Bryce lives with her family out in the country. So next door there's another manor, and the people who own that manor have like, I don't want to say leased it, but opened it up to wounded soldiers so they can go there to like recuperate before they go back to the front. So she meets like in that recuperation manor or whatever, there is an Australian pilot that she meets. And they get to know each other and, you know, like stuff like that. And so eventually he convinces her to marry him. And also, like, you know, you should do what you want to do. And if you really want, if you want to feel like you're making a difference, you should go do whatever you want. So, like, also, like, step outside of like the confines of her life and, like, you know, stuff like that. So he gets sent back to the front after he recuperates, and when that happens, she leaves home and she joins the Women's Land Army and begins her work as like a laborer, for lack of better terms, like a woman laborer. And she gets eventually she ends up getting a job in Devonshire, where she, you know, she does like helps them with like planting and crops and like stuff like that. And then but while she's living there, she finds a journal from like the past that has like the story of like a woman who lived there who, you know, was like a teacher, and she also like helped people like by making like herbal drinks that, you know, to relieve like, you know, like maybe they have like a fever or a headache or something like that. So but so that happens, and, you know, kind of goes through that for a while. And then Emily's life is then turned upside down when she discovers that she is pregnant. And she's unwed. And her fiance has just died.
Oh, no.
So. Yep. So anyway. So my thoughts on this book. I think I've read this book before.
What?
I know. I was like,
at what point did you figure this out?
About halfway through the book, I was like, man, I feel like I know what's gonna happen. I wasn't spot on, but I don't know if I've read another book that was really familiar, like similar. But man, I felt like like as I was reading, I was like, man, either I'm getting really good at like guessing what's gonna happen in books or something. I don't know.
Oh no.
But
good thing it was a Kindle Unlimited and you didn't like pay for it.
Yeah, it would have been sad. But yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to think of how to, because I called this a historical fiction or fantasy, not fantasy, historical romance, but there are no fantasy aspects, guys. Sorry.
In World War I, you mean?
Yeah. But it was, I mean, yes, it's historical. Yes, like they talk about like World War I and some like the, you know, like the Women's Land Army, and this is like things, but it wasn't really like, it was just kind of like there to set the scene to like for the story. There wasn't any, you know, it was just like there's a war on, there's people are getting hurt. We need to farm to feed England. You know, like it wasn't like you weren't getting into like the history of stuff, right?
So it was definitely more romancy than it was just romance with a backdrop of World War I.
Correct. Yeah. And so it was kind of the same with all the characters. You know, I didn't think any of the characters were developed very well. Like they were all just kind of there. Everything was really predictable, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know if it's the book,
right?
Or did I read
probably because I read this before.
You know, I was just like, man, like, I think I know what's gonna happen. But that's kind of how I would just characterize the whole book. It's just predictable. But if you're looking for like an easy, cozy, everything's gonna work out in the end, everybody's going to get their happy ever after. Yeah, it's not a bad way to spend, 4 hours.
Okay.
So, okay, my third book.
4 hours. How many pages was this book, Nicole?
309.
Okay.
6 hours? Not a bad way to spend 6 hours.
Okay. I was just like, I don't know. You are superhuman. Okay. Book 3.
Book 3. This one is called, sorry, I couldn't get comfy for a second. This one is called Whispers Underground by Baron. Whisper. This book is called Whispers Underground by Ben Aaronovitch.
Oh, okay. Yes. Hello, old friend.
Hello, old friend. So I listened to this one. I listened to it on Everand. I know. I went back to Everand just to try it one more time. Give it one more chance. So I used my one unlock to unlock this. So, and like I said earlier, it's a police procedural paranormal fantasy, something like that. This is book 3 in the London, the Rivers of London series, and so if you know because I've done the first 2 books, I'm not going to go over them, but it's because it's like a police procedural. It's every single episode has different things going on.
Right.
The main thing to take from book 2 is at the end of book 2, kind of the endish, they introduced the faceless man.
Yep.
He is still like the main evil character in this one. But in addition to that, because they're police officers, they don't just have one case they're working on. So this book also goes through some other cases, which is like one is a man who has been found murdered. And the weapon that was used has traces of magic attached to it. So this man that they find murdered is... he is also a U.S. senator's son.
Ooh,
and
all right.
So this complicates things because the FBI has decided they're going to dispatch a special agent to help assist in the case.
Okay. And we're in England, right?
We're in England.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes that case more difficult for them because obviously they are dealing with magic and he's an apprentice wizard and stuff like that. So now they're trying to keep that aspect away from this FBI agent as well. There's another storyline that has to do with like underground mole people.
Okay.
So yeah, it's another book that is like weird. Okay. So I enjoyed this one. I thought it was easier to follow than the last one. Like the last one's storyline, I was kind of like, where is this going? How do these two line up together? And that wasn't the case. This one was a little bit easier to follow. There was a better delineation of the cases they were working.
Okay.
So I kind of was able to follow better, like, oh, this is for this case, and oh, this is for this case.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so there is another cop that is in book 1 and 2, and she plays a very minor role. Her name is Leslie.
Okay.
At the end of book 2, she has like a moment or whatever, and like a twisty moment.
Okay.
And so she's in this book a lot more, which is cool because I like her. And Chief Inspector Nightingale is in this book way more, and I was
just gonna ask if you got more of Nightingale.
Yes, he is my favorite. He is so adorable.
So you got more of him this time.
Oh yes,
excellent.
He's just adorable. So,
and how many books are in this series?
10.
Oh, that's right.
So
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So in this one, I I didn't personally think that the FBI agent was as big a threat as the book description made her out to sound like she was gonna be.
Okay.
Like I thought the book description where you're like, oh man, this is gonna be really hard to work around and really hard to, and it just wasn't like that.
Okay.
But I am really enjoying these books.
Yeah.
I know I've said before that I'm not really a mystery person or anything like that, but I think it's actually the author's writing style that I'm really enjoying.
Good.
There's like dry humor. The writing is really clever. It's an interesting view of London from a Londoner's perspective, which, I really enjoy. And like I've said in the first one, the narrator is the best.
Oh, yes.
He has a great voice, and he has so many like different people that he's doing a voice for. He just does a great job.
Yeah.
So that one I gave
the narrator who sounds like, what's his name, right?
Jude Law.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is our Jude Law narrator.
Yeah. So he's great. And then, so I think I will give this book like a 4.5 punchkis.
Okay.
But I'm going to round it down to 4.
Okay.
So
it's not, you're not ready to give it a 5. Not ready to round up. Okay.
Yeah. It's not a 5. Okay. But I will. Yeah.
Okay.
It's closer to a 4 than a 5.
Okay.
Soft 5.
All right.
So.
Nice.
Those are my 3 books.
Yes. Quote unquote. And you're for sure going to be going on to book 4 for that one.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've already read book 4.
Okay.
I finished book 4 today.
Oh, you did? Okay. So next week.
And I've started book 5. So I might have 2. I might have to do double
of that series
next week.
Okay, good. Yay. All right. Okay. So I have one that I'm going to talk about this week. Okay. Because as we know, this week that whatever is technically the week of that I was gone, and I didn't read any books that week. So I had to bring in one of my squirreled away books. And this book has been squirreled away since January 16th.
Oh, wow.
Because I have not wanted to talk about this book.
That bad, huh?
It's not any like worse, I guess, because last week's book was 2.5. And this book is also 2.5. So it's not, I just don't love it. And also it's another book talk fail. Like it's another big one. Oh, this one's actually a Rhys's book club book too.
Really?
So, okay. So, it was a sister book club as well. It's called The Guest List by Lucy Foley.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Okay. I listened to this one on Audible. All right. I'm so excited about this.
I really don't want to do this.
No. Honestly, it's like it's hard to explain this one too. So I feel like I'm okay. Just everyone prepare yourselves for some convoluted information.
Fair.
Okay. So there's a wedding off the coast of Ireland, and the wedding is between Jules and Will. Jules is a high-powered like magazine editor or publisher, and Will is a TV star who is on his rise to fame. He does like it almost sounds like a Naked and Afraid type show.
Okay.
It's kind of the vibe I get from just the little explanations that we get of what he does, but it's like him by himself, not necessarily like I think the show Naked and Afraid like does different people.
Right.
So anyway, that's kind of the vibe. So the book has multiple points of view of all of the guests. So we have the bride and groom, which we actually don't really get much of their point of view, or his anyway. We do get Jules' point of view. And then towards the end, we get like one chapter from Will. We have the bridesmaid, who is Jules's 19-year-old sister, and her name is Olivia. We have the best man, and his name is Jono. And we've got Hannah, and she is called the plus one. That is her guest title. And it's basically, so her husband is Charles, and Charles is Jules's best friend. And so she is the plus one. And
That's
then we've got
nice.
no. Yeah, as soon as she was introduced as the plus one, I was like, why do we care about her then?
Yeah.
But it comes into play for sure. And then we have I can't even remember how to say her name now. It's been so long since I listened to this book. I think it's Aphie? Oifie. Something like. And she's the wedding planner, and she owns the venue that they're at in Ireland. So the book starts off with a dead body that's outside of the venue during the middle of the reception, basically.
Wow.
And so the whole book kind of basically goes back and forth between like the day before the wedding and then the day of the wedding. So basically we get like a prologue in the very beginning, which I don't even know if it's written as a prologue, but just it kind of comes off that way, where they kind of get the dead body, like, wow, we see a dead body. And then it immediately jumps into the day before the wedding. And then throughout the book, we kind of like go through that day, and then we go to the day of the wedding, and then we make it to the reception. And then obviously that's when we get the dead body. So during this whole timeline, and it's changing points of view, you get what's going on with them at the wedding, at the whatever. All the drama that they're dealing with, both in the wedding and outside in their lives and all that kind of stuff. And the wedding itself is very dramaful. Like everybody's got shit going on, and drama is just like happening everywhere. All of Will's friends are there, like the day before the wedding as well. They're all like his groomsmen and stuff like that. And they're all his like rich preppy school friends. And basically like they're playing drinking games, and they're just being generally
like bros.
Yes, definitely being like dude bros, and just like drinking and playing drinking games and partying, and it's just obviously drama is happening, right? And then by the end of the book, obviously you find out who did it and who actually is the dead body, like because you don't know who actually died until the very end. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know. Right. The end. I just like there's nothing really wrong with it. It was
just not interesting.
Yeah, like it kept me entertained. Like it was interesting enough to keep me entertained in it. Like I never felt like I never got to a point where I was like, I should DNF this. So it wasn't like that. It's just by the time I got to the end, I was just like, okay. It was like a slow burn murder mystery, if you could say. Like a lot of the stories just kind of don't mean anything. There's a couple other twists that happen. So some of the things that you're learning kind of lead to those twists versus leading to the murder mystery. So there's that. But I just kind of didn't care about any of it. And some of the storylines felt unnecessary. Like some
like
of the
they're just there to fill, or
like some of the dude bro stuff I think maybe was supposed to be like red herring type stuff, maybe. And it just like why did I need to read about you guys like drinking doing drinking games? Like it didn't feed the story really. And then like there was a little piece of the apparently some things happened on the bachelor party, and it gets referenced so many times, and you don't find out what actually happened at the bachelor party until like almost at the end of the book. And so like every time you hear about it, it was just like, oh my god, when are we going to learn what happened? Like it slow burn in that way. It was quite twisty. There's like it was like trying to throw little things in here where it would like throw you off. One of the twists I guessed pretty early on, so there's that. One I didn't guess at all. It just it was enough of a shock that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like I didn't see that coming, but not enough to be out, not to where I was like, oh, damn, you know?
Yes, redemption.
No, it was definitely not like that. And then there was another one though that was like actual shock. I like one of the twisties. So it has some elements that are like good, right? Which is ultimately why I ended up, I was going back and forth between 2.5 and 3 because there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It just, I think this one just isn't for me.
Okay.
So I would say my true rating is 2.5 cinnamon rolls. But if I was rounding, I would round up, not down.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, like the fact that it did have one twist that was like pretty shocking, and it had like elements that kept me intrigued and stuff. But just, I think maybe slow burn mystery is not... Which is, I don't know if that's even true to say, because like there's a lot of books that I read that you don't find out exactly what happened until the very end, right? But maybe it just didn't feel like a lot of the story was necessary. So that's what made it feel more
like a lot of fluff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody. I kind of understand why Book Talk made it a thing and why Rhys's book club picked it, but I will never think about it again. I barely remembered it for this.
Nice.
I just saw a little screenshot of the book cover in my list the other day, and I was like, oh shit, I need to talk about this book.
Before I completely went it.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my book this week.
Nice.
Sad. But I do
You've
have
had 2 stinkers.
Yeah.
2 weeks of stinkers so far.
My other 2 books in the hole right now, though, I'm very excited to talk about.
Yay!
But I'm going to talk about them together.
Okay.
And I don't know if it'll be next week or not. We shall see. But whenever I talk about those 2, I'm very excited about them. I think it has a third book, so maybe I'll do all 3 of them in one episode. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes. Okay, so hold on. Oh, I guess are we ready for a question?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't think I was getting a choice this week. You're like, get ready.
I usually ask you. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What are your thoughts on book buying bans? Book buying bans.
My sister's on one right now.
She is? Okay. And what are your thoughts on her choice?
Do what you want to do.
Okay.
Like, why would you want to do this to yourself?
True.
I guess, I think she has a pretty specific like set of criteria for like what she can buy books for, or, stuff like that. Because I think she still has the like her owl crate, loot crate, fairy.
So her subscription, she could still get those.
Yeah, she still has her subscription. I think she's just trying to stop all of the extra spending so she can like whittle down her TBR. But which I get.
Yes.
But also, like, what happens when you don't buy books for a year and now all these books come out and now I get to read them all before you?
Is she trying to do it the whole year?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my, Kim. What are you doing to yourself?
So she's gonna put herself on a book buying ban, and I'm gonna read all the good books, and I'm gonna talk about them all here, and she's gonna have to be sad.
That's right.
But yeah, I guess if you're doing it to save money or something, I don't know, I would try and find other things to not spend money on before I didn't spend money on books, right?
Yes.
Like, do I need TV? No. Nope.
Well, not all of us can be you, Nicole. I don't know. I feel like as we talked about in the last episode, I have 111 books that I have that I've never read. So maybe I am someone who should put myself on a book buying ban until I read them, but I won't, because I won't listen to it. I could say that I'm on a book buying ban, but as soon as a new book comes out that I'm like, that sounds great, or like
it's so beautiful.
Yes, it's so pretty, or like a second book in a series comes out, like I'm gonna have so many like exceptions to not buying books that it just doesn't make sense to ban it. So I'm gonna say I should be on one, but I don't want to be. And so I think no one else should be on them either.
Right. Buy your books. Be happy.
Exactly. It does benefit if the books you quote unquote buy are $0 on Kindle. So maybe you could do that if you're trying to save money, or like do a Kindle Unlimited type thing, or an Audible credits type thing, so that you have your one fee a month, and then you could just read as many as you want under that. Oh, there are ways around a book buying ban.
Especially if you have so many caveats.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any other thoughts on it, because I can't do it.
I was trying to think of any other reason why you would have a book buying ban.
Yeah, it's really just money, I'm sure.
Money and TBR, and unless you're just doing it, unless you because you don't have space or something for more books, or you can't buy books until you get rid of books or something like that. Yeah. Like, man, sorry about your luck.
Yes. Speaking
you don't have a secret library. Come on, guys.
What are you talking about? We all have that. I thinking of this though, I'm not putting myself on a book buying ban, so don't think of that.
Okay.
But I do need to read all these fucking books that are on my bookshelf that I have not read. I have a large handful of them. Yes. So that's not going to stop me from buying new books, but I do need to make a promise to myself to start incorporating more of these on my shelf that I have not read.
That's fair.
Yeah, because there's a lot. And every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, that book looks good. And clearly it looks good. I bought it. But yeah. All right. Well, I just need more time to read. That's all. Yeah.
Don't ban yourself from buying books, guys. Just buy that book.
What Nicole I need,
buy that book.
That's right. What I need is for you and Tim to both go on vacation at the same time, so then I could read some of these books on my shelf.
But would you?
No, I would just watch Sister Wives or something.
I know.
Dang it. Stupid reality TV getting me sucked in, keeping me from my books. Oh, unfortunate. Well, let's see. This is our first episode of March, right? This will be our first episode of March. We just had our last bonus bites come out. So if you haven't listened to that already, go listen to our Breaking Dawn finale. I'm sure it's great.
Yes. Future Nicole says, hey.
Yep. And then, yeah, go check us out on all the things. Go watch the video on YouTube or Spotify or listen to us everywhere else. And give us all the 5 stars in all the places that you listen and watch.
Yay.
And you sound so excited about it.
I yawned as I was saying yay. It's how exciting it is,
even
guys.
Nicole said it's exciting.
I guess.
Go give us 5 stars. Go give us thumbs ups. Go give us whatever. Share us with your friends. We appreciate you. And
you guys are the best.
Yes, we're
Thanks for sticking with us.
Best friends now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Bye.
Okay, bye. Get out of here.